on PulseChain. How big your stack? Heavy stack, heavy stack. How big your stack? On PulseChain. How big your stack? Heavy stack, heavy stack. I was looking for a chain, something new, decentralized, either new. Stacking PLS, stacking PLS6. Liquidity on the decks. Somebody help me. My sack is so heavy. Get the Sparkswap, get the DEX boss, get the GOAT token, Legion protocol, get some P-Dye, get some P-Drip, get some teddy bear, get some P-Hex. You know we here for the 100X. With your heart, always with the Gucci bags. I asked you once, I asked you twice. How big is your stack? On PulseChain. How big is your stack? Heavy stack, heavy stack. How big is your stack? On PulseChain. How big is your stack? Heavy stack, heavy stack.
It's both a blessing and a curse. Having a sack this big.
My sanctuary.
PulseChain.com. Awesome. It's got higher throughput. It's deflationary. It burns 25% or more of the fees. There's no inflation. It never mints new coins.
How big is your stack?
It's going to be the world's largest free airdrop. So people love free money.
How big is your stack?
And they don't like the high fees. And this addresses all those issues. It's really cool.
How big is your stack?
Could Pulse do the same 10,000x that Hex did? Yes, it could.
How big is your stack?
The likelihood of that event? I don't know.
How big is your stack?
I got a few tricks up my sleeve. I got some more cool shit coming.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to EMP.Money. My name is AJ, I am the team lead, and this is our live AMA. We come to you every Monday and Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. You know it's an amazing day. We have a brand new video drop from the one and only Cool Sheet. Much love to him. Shout out. Hopefully you all have a very giant sack that you're building on Pulse. So, and also I want to introduce my co-host with the most and fellow team member, LA. How are you today?
I'm good. Love a new banger from Cool Sheet.
Yeah, 100%. Again, you know it's a good day. We have a new video. Cool Sheet always delivering. And please go check him out. Again, lots of great videos he releases. We'll put a link to his YouTube channel as well. But yeah, lots of great info today. We have some very exciting news about Fusion. We'll get to that at the very end, so you got to stick around the whole time. And lots of other updates as well with Sparkswap and our ecosystem as a whole. So, before we get, yeah, go ahead, Ellie.
I was just gonna say before we get started, I randomly came across another song mentioning Sparkswap today on Twitter when I was scrolling through Twitter.
Yeah,
so
no.
we're just popping up all over the place. We love to get the love in all the songs.
Totally.
So,
Yeah.
of course,
yeah.
Cool Sheet's the OG though.
Yeah, no, 100% LA. Yeah, we have another community member again. I think I know what you're talking about, LA. We're gonna announce that when the song is ready to go live. But yeah, we have a lot of really creative individuals in our community that are always, helping us spread the word. And again, that's an amazing example of putting in the work, to help all of our bags without necessarily having to commit any additional capital. So yeah, I'm always so proud.
This guy's called Degen, a digital trapper,
Yeah,
and he made a song about Pulse, and he mentions Sparkswap in it.
killer.
That's the one I was talking about
Okay,
that I
yeah.
randomly pulled upon today.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think we have one more. It's either from him or it might be another guy that's working on one specifically for Spark. So yeah, lots of cool stuff coming. But with that, we have a ton of info today, right, LA? I know today's going to be a banger.
Yeah, really long one again.
Totally.
We
So
love the long ones lately.
yeah, no doubt. So sit back and relax. Again, we will get to Q&A today as well. I know, and yeah, shout out to DeFi Proof as well. Thanks, Vino, for the reminder. He's another community member that did our original EMP intro, and who knows, man? We have a lot. With what we're gonna announce about Fusion, we have a lot of other potential songs and community projects that we'll be launching too. So but yeah, before we jump right in, again, let's get all the housekeeping out of the way. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm a bad YouTuber. LA usually reminds me, but we definitely want to get our likes up, and that helps with our engagement and spreading the word. And remember, all of the ad revenue from our YouTube channel also goes to support the protocols. So, LA, any other things you want to talk about before we kick things off?
Yes. So you'll see that the updated links for Spritz and Rabby and all that kind of stuff is in the descriptions of our YouTube stream now. But I did want to caution everyone. There's a lot of chatter in all the chats lately. Apparently, this has been ongoing for years. But if you are downloading Rabby, don't use the iOS app on your phone because it's a scam. So only download it on your computer and use our referral link that's found in the description of this YouTube. If you would like to get points and also support the EMP ecosystem, but just don't do so on mobile because they don't currently have an official non-scammy mobile app, and people are losing money by doing so that way. So just caution there. But yeah, I just wanted to let you know our links are updated now in our description here because we did get the new Spritz affiliate code. So it's updated in our description now.
Perfect. All right. Yep. Absolutely. And again, I mean, that's just good practice. Some more crypto OG words of advice and wisdom. Always make sure you double, triple check any sort of affiliate links or, make sure that it matches on the website, the Twitter, and that, again, you're not getting phished with a scam link. I mean, even Sparkswap, we've seen some phishing sites come up. So just make sure you're using all the official links. They will be pinned in any of our official announcements or, like LA said, in all of our video streams and on the website, of course. So, all right, awesome. So, yeah, with that being said, we're going to jump right in. Again, it is a bit of a long one today, so we're going to try to move through it as quick as we can, but lots of info to get over and mega alpha with Fusion, but you got to stay tuned to the very end. So, all right, we're going to start with SparkSwap. Again, things are looking really, really good. Overall today, Pulse is taking a bit of a beating, down about 10% overall. Obviously, that drags the price of Spark down with it. So before we get into news, I just want to comment on that. Obviously, we're not here to speculate on the price of Spark, but I think people get a little bit, short-sighted in the fact that because of our deep liquidity, again, Spark is essentially liquidity bonded with Pulse. So whatever Pulse goes down, Spark will go down. But whenever Pulse goes up, Spark will be dragged up with it. And if you look at all the other the top 10 tokens that are trending today, we're actually down the least out of a lot of them. So that's a really good sign that again we're outpacing the drop in price of Pulse. And then when things go up again, the price again theoretically goes up as well because of that deep liquidity. And last I checked, between the Spark PLS liquidity and the Spark SDAI, or DAI liquidity, SDAI, yeah, that we are, what I think, still around 3 million total in liquidity, even with the pullback. So that's super bullish. Again, out of the Richard Hart coins, again, Hex, Pulse X, we are like the top liquid token on all of PulseChain. So again, super, super bullish as well. But all right, so let's get into some news and some updates. We've gotten a ton of great feedback on the vaults. Again, all of you seem to be loving them, even with the pullback on all the values of tokens in PulseChain. We're still at about 2 million TVL in the vaults, which again is super bullish. It's between the other vaults and DEX Finance houses, the Pulse vaults make up almost half of the total TVL of all the vaults. So again, that's just super incredible metrics, and it's been really, really doing numbers. And that's more and more volume. Again, not only is it more profitable for all of you, but it's also more volume for Sparkswap, and more volume is more fees that feed Sparkler. And again, not to get ahead of myself, but Sparkler had a massive juicy payout today. So LA, did you see that right before we jumped on?
I did. I actually noticed it, and then like 5 minutes later, I saw that you wrote a message about it, and I was like, yes, it did. It
Yeah,
definitely did.
totally. So again, not to get off subject here too far, I'm sure we'll go over it a little bit later too. But remember, Sparkler is the real yield of the protocol. So if people are getting in and out of the farms, um, especially on days like today when Pulse is down, people reallocate funds. That usually ends up in a very juicy day for Sparkler, and Sparkler is the only way to get part of the actual real revenue of protocol fees within the protocol. I saw another person ask, what's the difference between vaults and Sparkler? Now that we have vaults, is Sparkler obsolete? And the answer is hell no. The vaults only make Sparkler even more powerful. So remember, they're two separate things. Um, the vaults will just auto compound or take profit in your yield, but Sparkler is again the actual real yield of the protocol. So if you want to be a part owner of Sparkswap as a whole and get all the fees from bridging and swaps and the volume that we produce, then you have to be exposed to Sparkler. And again, the payouts have been incredibly lucrative. And again, that's real yield. That's one more thing that's really cool, and that's why we said just today it was like a nice little surprise, because we don't know what the payout will be. One day it could be 0.2% daily. One day it could be 1% daily, and again, it's all based on the success of the protocol. So I know a lot of people are bullish. Again, the longer you stake as well, the better it pays. So I know a lot of people that have done the maximum 10-year stake. They're already close to ROIing within a few months, or have already ROI'd if they were really early, and now have the next 9.5 years to yield from SparkSwap. So really, really bullish stuff. All right, sorry, I didn't mean to get too far off topic. Ella, anything you want to add to that before we get back to the script?
No, you hit the nail on the head with that one.
All right, awesome.
It's incredible, especially if we'll go over some graphics and stuff later, but especially if you know how to work the system so that you are taking some profit in the PLS side, but you're feeding, you're feeding your LPs into the farm, and you're using your Spark to continue to build your Sparkler position. I mean, you're growing, and you're providing passive income for yourself for years to come. So it's great when you know how to work the system.
100%. Yep. All right. Awesome. So again, back to what we were talking about a little bit earlier with the success of vaults. Some of you have had some really great suggestions, and we want to let everybody know that we have taken that feedback, and a lot of that development is already underway to implement them. So we had some great suggestions over the last few weeks or that vaults have been live, both from the UI standpoint and tracking. So we will be hopefully implementing some really cool updates, some of which already have been, and some of which we're working on. So we're working on the following of getting the Vaults tab to open in a separate tab. I know a lot of you have been kind of frustrated. The Vaults tab will actually open on top of the Spark website. So we want to have that open in a new window so you don't have to, find Sparkswap again after that. That's a fairly easy fix, so that should be fixed shortly. Having the vaults display a lot more data when it comes to the LP growth. So this is a little bit more of a heavy lift, but a lot of great suggestions. So in the last 48 hours, some of the developments that we already pushed were to show the LP growth since the last harvest. So that data is quite useful, and historical data for the growth since your deposit is on the way. I know a lot of people have been asking for that, so you can really see, what you're yielding every single day at a glance. You can do that on your own right now. Again, just in a 24-hour window, you take, you claim and then wait 24 hours, and then that will show you your daily yield, and then you just do the math on your own. However, again, we know we want to make it easier and make it to where people don't have to do their own math. So that is a fix that is taking a bit more legwork, but it will be pushed shortly, and we'll let you know when. So lots of excitement, movement on the development side. Again, we're getting closer and closer to the next bullish launch on Spark as well. So, LA, before I get into that, is there anything you want to add about vaults? Because this section needs its own pause for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Are you able to pull up that new graphic that we finalized yesterday when it came
Yeah,
to the
yeah. If you want to talk about it for a second, let me grab it real quick. Hang on one sec.
Yeah, so we have had some of our awesome beta testers who helped us create a new graphic for some strategy for the vaults. I think you guys last week saw the ones for the Spark Maxi Vault, which is the kind of more basic strategy. And then we have created a new one for the majority of the vaults that you can use. And AJ's going to pull that one up and then we'll kind of go through it together. Yes, awesome.
All right, sorry. This is an easier fix. Can you see that? Okay, LA. I don't have it as the actual image, but it should work. This is just the screen share. Can you see? Okay.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And just to give you kind of a preface to this, we did use zapping PLS as an example, but of course in the vaults there's many options for what you can zap. PLS obviously is not the only option.
For sure.
So did you want to go through it or did you want me to go through
Yeah,
it?
you go through it and then I'll add some key points.
And is this
the most recent one? I can go through it if not.
wondering?
Yeah, I think so. So yeah, I can go through it again. I know it's a little bit confusing on the
Sorry,
yeah.
it's not that. Vino was sending another photo and he was making me think that you didn't have the right one up on the screen, but I
Oh,
think you're fine.
all right, go ahead. Then you ready, or you want me to go over it?
Either one is good.
Okay.
You
All right.
know.
All right. So yes, this is the most recent one we came up with. We have a few others. Again, we're trying to keep it as streamlined as possible. But the overall gist is that this is how you continue to feed your sparkler, even if you're in the vault. So you can start anywhere on this little sheet. Let's start by, I guess, zapping PLS into any outer vault. So you're actually going to start at the bottom. Again, when you claim your profit, it goes into an ETF. Some of them are, an ETF, and some of them are taking profit in actual Spark tokens only. So depending on what vault you're in, you will get either the ETF or actual Spark. If you get actual Spark, there's another graphic that eliminates this step, but either way, it's the same concept. So you just deposit that Spark directly into Sparkler, or if you have an ETF, you can take profit in that ETF. Remember, once you claim your profit, it automatically mints you an ETF, and then you can burn that ETF for actual Spark tokens. Or you can just withdraw the profit and do it on your own. Buy, with the pulse that you withdraw, you can buy Spark or ETH or from any SDI, DAI, any of the tokens. You can just buy Spark directly, and then again deposit into Sparkler. We do recommend the maximum stake just because you get a 400% bonus on your shares, but everybody is open to do whatever they feel is right for them. You can then claim your Spark PLS LP and then either split that Spark PLS LP and put half the Spark side back into Sparkler, or all of it by zapping in the Pulse side again back into one of the auto vaults. Or again, this is another graphic. Just we have a bunch of different strategies. So the other strategy would be just to redeposit your Spark LP into one of the Spark LP only vaults. So again, I know it sounds a little confusing on the surface, but if you pull this image up and have your vaults open at the same time, it's very pretty straightforward, and there's nothing you're going to do that will be wrong. It's just a matter of what is best or what you prefer as an investor, and taking profits, not only responsibly, but building your long-term bags as well. So yeah, LA, you want to add to that? Again, hopefully
Yeah,
that wasn't
you
too
just forget
confusing.
a notch. We
Well,
might have to create an entire graphic system and go from one vault to the next to the
yeah.
next.
Yeah, I think we'll work on a whole. We'll have to do one of your awesome explainer videos again, LA. So
Might
yeah,
have to create like a panorama of or no, a diorama is what they call
yeah,
it.
there you go.
No, this at first glance, this looks complicated, but it's honestly quite simple. You're going to zap into the vault. You're going to earn a profit in the vault, and whenever you've earned enough that you feel comfortable that that's a good amount to claim, you're going to claim your ETF. You'll burn it, and you'll take one of those assets in profit, and then you'll turn some of it into Spark to deposit into Sparkler. You'll claim your LP and you'll split it apart. You'll deposit the Spark into Sparkler, and with the PLS, you'll put it right back into the vault. You can also take some of that for profit as well if you'd like. So there's multiple avenues and spots where you can take profit, and there's multiple spots where you can build your bag. So it's quite a great system that allows you to continue building and continue to take profit in one or multiple spots.
Perfect. All right, awesome. Let me get back to the notes. Anything else you want to add to that?
Nope.
All right, one moment. All right, so that again is just one of the very many strategies. I think we have, like I said, 4 now different infinite money generator diagrams. We'll work on adding more and more. If you are confused, or maybe you just want to, get a better idea of what is the best fit for you, that is a really great way to engage in our community. So if you're on Telegram or Discord, please feel free to type about or talk about different strategies. A lot of people, including our admins, are happy to kind of walk you through different ways of what is tailor made for your strategy and your investment goals. So really exciting stuff. Again, we'll see you over in the chat throughout the week brainstorming. So all right. That also being said, we have a major release that we're working on. So you're going to start hearing a little bit more about this. Again, in terms of updating the roadmap for Spark, what's next at Sparkswap? Well, we have a crazy bullish product that will be coming. So we've been teasing this a little bit now, but it's only probably a couple of weeks away. So we're already making major headway. And if you thought vaults were bullish, just wait until you hear what the next product is. Again, a industry first for Pulse, and honestly, an amazing solution, even for people not on Pulse. So again, we have a lot coming. We're gonna work up on an announcement. We'll work up an announcement, excuse me, on what's coming. But we're really excited and we're way ahead of schedule. So this next big release for Sparkswap, and then Fusion, hopefully shortly after that is what's looking like for the next few months here with our EMP mothership. But again, uh, it'll be not only super bullish for your Spark bags and feeding Sparkler again, more volume, more fees, more revenue, real revenue generated, but it will also be feeding EMP through EMP Fusion, and again, bringing even more users to Sparkswap. So, LA, without giving too much info, it's pretty bullish, right? I mean, a real game changer on Pulse for sure.
Totally. And just seeing some screenshots of what it's going to look like even is
For
just
sure.
super bullish. So we are still 2 or 3 weeks away, so we don't want to get anyone too excited that it's going to be released tomorrow or something, but it is about that time that we're starting to get pretty excited because we're making really good progress towards it.
Yeah, 100%. So again, those of you that are a little bit more, thinking outside the box, I'd love to get the speculation going on what it might be. But we'll have some more concrete info as we get closer. Just know that it's a big one because if you were bullish on vaults, which has been beyond our expectations in terms of volume generation and support of Spark, this one should be even bigger. So, all right. What else? Oh, again, just in terms of the bridge, we've also been making some major headway on getting bridge partners on board. So we announced a big one last week. I'll talk about that in a second, but we are continuing to reach out to other projects, not only projects that we have relationships with, but projects that are, around and doing volume. Again, all of our bridge partners, they're not necessarily endorsements of the protocols. We do everything we can to do our own due diligence. Obviously, we're not going to partner with a flat-out rug, but or developers that are new in the space. But we will partner with projects that create volume because at the end of the day, the more volume through the bridge, that is really what matters. So, and we've had success in the past, and we'll have success in the future, continuing to get more and more people utilizing our bridge. And I mean, again, uh, there was even rumor, I don't think it actually happened, but there was rumor of some phishing attacks on the main PLS bridge over the last few days. But we're continuing to be the number one solution in terms of safety, speed, and price of the bridging, the number one bridging solution on Pulse. So if you're not using our bridge, you're literally missing out. And the more people that we get, using it, the better. So again, LA, before we announce a little bit more info on the next bridge partner, anything you want to add about the bridge?
Well, we just keep getting reports day after day of people using it and saying, "Oh my God, it's so fast, it's so cheap." So keep spreading the word. I can't emphasize more just how important it is to just keep spreading the word on social media, especially when things are going on with the other bridging options. Like everyone needs to know how amazing SparkSwap is. So keep spreading the word, keep helping to share our social media posts. but it's always great to hear the good feedback about how fast the bridge is and how seamless it is. So
Yeah, 100%. And again, we're also reaching out to aggregators as well. So not only are we trying to implement the bridging partners on the protocol level, but we have about 3 or 4 other private chats going right now with a lot of the major bridge aggregators as well. So that's super bullish. A lot of even these aggregators now are trying to get more exposure to Pulse. There's many multi-chain solutions. They're a little more centralized than we would like, but it is what it is. And but none of them, or very little of them, are even bridging to Pulse because, again, they either they're just now getting comfortable with Pulse as a chain, or they're just not really good solutions other than the main Ethereum bridge. So this is exciting. We've had some great preliminary contacts and conversations. Shout out to Jay Wizzle for putting a lot of those together, one of our community members, and all the VIPs that have helped really get those conversations going. We appreciate it, and yeah, again, the more volume, the better. So with that, the most recent bridge partner is Pulse.farm. So we announced this earlier in the week. A lot of you, it's funny, we have a big community overlay already, and they say imitation is the best form of flattery. They have a very unique, mechanism that is almost a copy of Sparkler with what they do. So definitely check that out. Again, they are a good dev team. I mean, regardless of whether you think it's competition or not, we are always here to promote, worthy projects, and we're firm believers that the rising tide will lift all ships. And so, yeah, they have added the Sparkswap Bridge tab right to their website. So any volume coming in and out goes right through the Sparkswap Bridge. And they have a lot of other bullish things coming. They're one of the first legitimate PvP, or PFP rather, the profile picture NFTs that are the 404 technology. We're looking into this tech as well. I'm pretty bullish on 404 tech. I think there needs to be a little more tweaking, but we're looking into possibly doing a 404 option of our own with Sparkswap as well. So again, just really a lot of awesome stuff in the pipeline, both within our community and other communities that we support. So go check them out. Again, Pulse.farm. Again, a great yield farm, and the RH404 is the 404 NFT that they also released, and they have some bullish announcements coming with that as well, with true rarity. So again, with this 404 tech, the whole idea is that you can re-roll your NFTs to get a better rarity, and they have some really cool announcements coming with that as well. So, all right, that is all for Spark. Actually, no, one more. Man, we got a long one today, LA, huh? You were kidding.
yeah, we still have a lot to cover.
Yeah, so again, speaking of partners, they're not a bridge partner, but they are a partner. That is Monstro's Degenz. So we will hopefully be having them on Thursday for the next AMA. But a lot of you, that were in the original project are now going to be eligible for this version 1.5. And we did a fully in-depth post about this. So again, check all of our tabs, pinned messages in the tabs to get the full breakdown. But Monstro's Degenz is now launching version 1.5, and this is a interim step. Again, for those of you that don't remember, this is a high-risk ROI contract, but it was under the pretense that they knew it would eventually fail, and still make good on everybody's owed profit. So rather than just going right into the NFTs, where they will pay out a yield every week until you're made whole on what you're owed, they're implementing an interim version called 1.5, where if you were already in Monstro Degenz, you're allowed to continue to claim after the first week. Or if you're brand new and weren't in the original Monstro Degenz contract, this could be a great way to get in now, and again, earn with all those same guarantees of not rugging and eventually paying you out all the principal and profit that you're owed. So it's a lot more conservative now, which again should help the longevity of it as well. So they tweak a lot of the rules, all of the different mechanisms and rewarding to make it even more sustainable. So again, if you're already in Monstros, after the first 7 days, you will be able to claim again. There's also incentives for adding new capital that'll let you claim out faster. And all of your Sparky NFTs, again, the Care Bear looking Spark Monstro Sparky, he also will give you a boost in your reward. So that is still a thing. Again, we have also we have a full breakdown of how you can get one of those NFTs if you don't have one already. If you're just getting in, make sure that you use our referral link. They got rid of referrals in 1.5, but it's good for us just to be able to keep track of the volume that we're bringing in and deposit a minimum of 0.15 BNB. So even though this is technically a Spark partnership, it is on the Binance Smart Chain network. So, all right, LA, I know it was a lot. Anything you want to add to that? I know some people were a little confused about the relaunch, but we'll have Various on Thursday, the man himself, go over it all as well. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, this is really great news because there was a lot of chatter and everything, and I think that it's pretty clear now that if you did have a position that you'll continue earning, so that's great news. So it's going to be good to have him on so he can go through all the details with everyone.
Perfect. Yep. So again, and if you do want to know any more info above and beyond what we post, please make sure to join their Discord. They're much more active on Discord, and you can open a ticket or just jump in the chat, and they'd be more than happy to help explain things. So, all right, a few more updates here, and then we'll wrap it up in terms of Sparkswap. The PulseChain bubbles. So we did get Sparkswap added to PulseChain bubbles. Again, this is a cool little UI that shows you the biggest gainers and the biggest losers of a 24-hour period or whatever you set on PulseChain. So check that out. Again, just one more way that we're visible to all the Pulse community on different things like this. And GoPulse has a great little widget like that as well. So we're just again, we gotta be everywhere. So that's another addition to the marketing front. And then last but not least, I just want to mention the EMP Treasury Bonds again. We went over this in detail in the last AMA, so if you missed that, please join that. I want to be able to pull up the picture. Hang on one second. All right, so there you go. I wouldn't put together a project I believed in that had my face on it unless I knew that it was sustainable. So these are the EMP Treasury Bonds. Originally, they sold for $250 a piece. Now they're worth $300 already. And by the time this is over with, later in the year, they're going to be worth $400 a piece. So it's essentially a bond that is growing at 5% a month, which works out to be 60% APR. And then you can redeem those bonds at the end of that 1 year cycle for your principal plus profit. And this really helps us expand. It helps bolster our treasury. It helps us yield in the meantime. And then obviously the yield that we generate, we share with all of you through the bond. So, in terms of high risk and low risk, this is about as low risk as it gets. Again, the treasury backs the value of the NFTs, and our insurance fund already has enough to cover payouts. So just a great little addition. We like to call it a savings account, and you can diversify into these. So that is LA. Do you have the link for that? EMP.Bonds.com, I believe.
Yep, I just posted it in the chat.
All right, perfect. So please follow that. And also, if you have any additional questions about bonds, look at last week's AMA. But it's a great way to again diversify into other parts of our protocol and our ecosystem. So, all right, LA. Anything else you're going to add about Monstros or Pulse Bubbles or the Treasury bonds? Go ahead.
No, we're good to move on.
All right, amazing. So, on to L1X, L1DEX updates. So, LA, you want to take this real quick, and then I'll elaborate?
Yes. So there was an announcement made last week about the L1X Foundation deciding to launch an early bootstrap phase to provide seed liquidity on L1X token pairs for the upcoming mainnet launch. We need some additional time to test and really make sure the code is safe and ready for us to deploy contracts pertaining to L1DEX. We now have finally been granted access to the DevNet, and this is allowing us to deploy on a live environment so that we're in a position to do that testing and audits of our own. Now the foundation will be launching their balancer pool offerings around, I think it's the 22nd. We're still working closely with them, and we plan to have the DEX live and ready at mainnet launch. And we just wanted to kind of let all you guys know that when you're going into the next few weeks and you're deciding kind of where to allocate your funds, you are going to have a few different options. And when the DEX does launch, we're going to have some extremely attractive APRs on offer that don't require locking your funds and leave you completely liquid. And so it may be beneficial just to kind of sit back and consider all of your options that are in front of you to see what feels like the best option for you before making a decision that really keeps you locked in for months and months at a time.
Perfect. Yeah, I could not agree more. Again, there's no right or wrong answer to this. We just come and give you all the potential, variables that there are. And obviously it's up to all of you on how you want to proceed. But we do have a lot of other options. And maybe you do half, in the original, where you have to stake and actually lock it up, and maybe half with us, or again, it's all up to you on how you want to proceed. But just know that we have a lot more options with the DEX that we're hoping to get out. And like LA said, keeps you liquid rather than having to lock up. So, but we'll have some much more updates hopefully this week on that before they begin accepting their deposits. Just so everybody is on the same page on what is happening. So, all right, stay tuned for that. All right, anything else with L1X or L1DEX?
Nope. I think the next part is the one everyone's really excited to hear about.
Yeah, absolutely. So 45 minutes in, hopefully you all stuck around for the juicy alpha. We made an announcement just before the AMA went live. But yeah, finally, we are able to start talking a bunch more about Fusion. So as many of you already know, we are in the home stretch of getting Fusion live. Although we have not announced the launch date, we have been making major headway. We have now brought on the additional developers. Again, we talked a lot about this on the last few AMAs. Our core team with DEX Finance and Sparkswap. So now we have the full capabilities of the DEX Finance team. And again, we've essentially merged as a core conglomerate that takes care of everything. And this is super bullish because they're the best devs in the business that will get Fusion over the finish line. So as part of this process, we are also excited to announce we have initiated an audit from a third party to find any issues. This audit is already well underway, and we'll devs to tie up any loose ends and fix any additional issues very quickly. So again, just to give a little bit more context into that, we've said all along, all the contracts were finished. We just had to wire them up and start testing. Well, that has already been underway, and this third-party auditor, again, DeFi Moon is their name, will hopefully announce when that audit is complete. I don't know if we're going to make the audit public just because there's a lot of proprietary info and how EMP Fusion is actually built, but we will absolutely let you know if they found any issues. There are a few that we already know about that they have, suggested that we fix. So again, the way it works is, you do your due diligence, you have the full audit report, then the devs can go in and fix all that, and then it gets tested again. So there's still a lot of work to do, but we're getting super close. And this is, really exciting because it's the first time that we're really able to start talking about things a little more publicly as we get closer. So it's absolutely paramount that Fusion launches as bulletproof as possible without any logic errors, security breaches, or potential exploits. We had a flawless track record of this, and absolutely zero of our contracts or protocols have ever been in jeopardy. So that's why, again, it's just so important that we continue that. We wouldn't want to wait all this time, finally have Fusion ready, and then launch, and then have a problem. So although, it may be a little bit longer, we've said this all along, we have to do everything humanly possible to make sure we dot our I's and cross our T's for a flawless launch. So this is extremely bullish as we're finally getting really close to the finished product and being able to go live with the Fusion MVP. So again, one last little anecdote. This will be the Fusion MVP, which stands for Minimal Viable Product. But that doesn't mean that it's going to be a half-baked protocol. This will be EMP Fusion in its entirety. But some of the batteries, the take profit strategies, some of those things, a lot of the marketplace implementations, those will be coming after launch. But this is plenty enough to start the sacrifice phase, build your microgrids, be able to sell your microgrids, and obviously take profit in, a few of the more mainstream assets that all of you would want to take profit in. So, yeah, LA, that's it in a nutshell. I think the response has been absolutely, I know, right? We need that, bah, 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 that, yeah, there you go, perfect. Yeah, so we're getting there, right? Go ahead.
Yeah, no, we've had a lot of excitement since that announcement went live. We're in the final stretch, guys, so good stuff here all around.
Yeah, 100%. And again, I want to manage, everybody's expectations. I know a lot of you are, have given us shit about teasing or coming soon. But we've really never come out with an announcement that gave this kind of a, more solid time frame. So again, we haven't announced a date. Please manage your expectations. But we're getting really, really close. And the best devs in the business are on this now to get it over the finish line. So, all right, awesome. LA, anything you want to add? I know we got Q&A as well, but yeah, I could not be more excited for what we have coming, not only with Fusion, but Sparkswap and all of our roadmap for the next few weeks. It's going to be jam-packed.
Yeah, all around. And I did want to add this. I saw a comment in the chat. I don't think they were implying this, but it reminded me that I wanted to emphasize this. The launch of Fusion and the launch of L1DEX and the launch of the new features that we're releasing in Sparkswap, none of them are connected. So they're going to release in whatever order they're ready in. So just a reminder that none of them are connected. We're not going to purposely launch them all at the exact same time or anything like that. Whatever order they're ready to be launched in, they'll be launched in.
Yep, absolutely. So, and again, they are connected in terms of revenue streams or strengthening the protocols together. But yeah,
Just
absolutely,
our
LA.
launches are
It,
not like secretly, like we don't have like some secret plan to like launch them all at the exact same moment
100%.
and one hits on the other to launch. That's what I mean.
Yep, agreed. So again, there's no ulterior motives. It'll be ready when it's ready and whatever fits in the dev timeline. And again, we will announce a hard date. So that will be coming. Just realize that, with this audit, maybe they find more issues than we anticipated. That's not necessarily FUD or a bad thing. If anything, that's a great thing because it means we can fix it, but depending on how severe, some of the logic or, issues might be, that could extend the workload. But again, we're not talking, months and months and months. And so, yeah, it's exciting. We're
But
almost
also,
there. Go ahead, Ellie. Yeah,
also about launching Fusion with an audit already completed, like
for
how
sure.
amazing it is for marketing purposes and booking AMAs and all of this stuff. Like even just booking with bigger influencers who will always ask, like, are you audited? And we can say right off the bat, like before we've even launched, and we're organizing, additional AMAs beyond what we already have organized, to be ready for launch. And they ask like, oh, are you audited? Yes, in fact we are. Here's the audit. Like that's so powerful. So
Totally,
it's
Ellie.
really.
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth again. A really amazing point. And we had plans of auditing all along, but actually doing it in a two-pronged approach like this, where we're actually getting it audited as we finish the build out. Again, it's with a company called DeFi Moon. They're a little less well known, but we have a relationship with them. And once Fusion is out, we absolutely also plan on doing a major audit by Halborn or one of the bigger guys for sure. So, but yeah, to that point, that we're ahead of the game now because when we do our AMA rounds, and remember, we're gonna start the AMA train up all over again. I've already got a ton of DMs today after our announcement of influencers that we either have a relationship with or we've already engaged them in sponsored content, and they're chomping at the bit. They're ready for us to go. So that's super bullish because once we have a hard date of the launch actual sacrifice date going live, then we will have some major marketing both leading up to it and after it starts. So we get the peg moving in the right direction. So all right, awesome. Again, LA, anything you want to add?
No, I think that's it.
Okay, killer. So, all right, you want to move on to Q&A, and we can call it a night.
Yeah.
I know we have a bunch to Q&A too, since we skipped
Yeah,
last week. Yeah.
we do have a bunch. So let's go through them. All right. Would it be possible for AJ to give us a rough figure of what is currently in the treasury? I'm not looking for specifics, just a ballpark. Thank you. So that's
Yeah.
number one.
All right. So again, we tread lightly with this question. Again, the fudders say that we do it on purpose, but the reality is that just for security reasons, we don't like to talk a lot about what's in our treasury. I can say that it's more than it was, when we gave a more concrete update a few months ago with Brian and trade yield and all the other stuff that we're doing. Obviously, we also have expenses. We do everything we can not to sell native assets or dig into the yield generated from Sparkswap. Obviously, there's a small dev fee on the three-way split of the fees where applicable. But the whole idea is that we are we're in growth mode right now. So the treasury is kind of not really something that we even look at because we're not trying to spend that or use it as exit liquidity for people that want to dump. And we can actually inject what we have in the treasury once Fusion is live to make it even more attractive in terms of yield and what we're doing. So we'll be a little bit more transparent on that when Fusion is actually out. But for right now, we're just kind of laying low and keeping all that under wraps until we're ready. And again, the main reason is not only security, but we don't want to be front run. We don't want bad actors to know that there's a big injection coming, buy up, EMP ahead of that, and then sell and use it as exit liquidity. So, again, I don't know if you want to add anything to that LA, but that's about as specific as I'm willing to get right now.
Nope, that sounds good to me.
Okay.
We got quite a few, so I'm going to kind of move through them. This is a long one, so let's see if I can kind of summarize. This was kind of a reflection of last week's AMA when we spoke about ESHARE. Interesting topic on ESHARE tonight. It's been talked about as a speculative volatile token structured as a bonus coin or payout coin, but shouldn't it have much more sustainability in price like EMP if it's being sacrificed at Fusion launch and sacrificed or burned every day as the backbone of everyday transactions in the ecosystem? In terms of speculation in price, which I know you won't predict for your own protection, but if the supply is low, what should the mathematics or correlation be to the price of Ethereum? We saw eShare exceed the price of Ethereum when the boardroom was consistently printing. With the new system bringing different math and dynamics, is it foolish to think that eShare should probably have a value close to a third or half of Ethereum's price with its essential daily activities, which carries more consistency over what it provided in the old system? It seems to me that eShare is so beaten down and so undervalued that a 10x price to 300 is still so undervalued when looking at a 2,800 Ethereum price today. What are your thoughts with unboxing yourself in with that price prediction?
I love it, man. That was a hell of a question. So yeah, I can answer parts of it. Some of it I can't, obviously, in terms of actual price speculation. But I do want to clarify a few things that I think will help. That question asker or anybody that has the same sort of mindset may help us. So first of all, eShare is absolutely unrelated and uncorrelated to the price of ETH. Again, I know with that similar assets, you like to make that bridge that gap, but the reality is that the price of eShare and the reason that it did go so high is two things. Number one is, and you even said it in the question, it was the utility of eShare given through the boardroom. And again, when EMP was originally on fire, and the boardroom would print. I know there was one print that printed about 10% a day on the boardroom, and when you have that sort of revenue generated from eShare, then eShare becomes extremely in demand and valued because it's a yield producing asset. And at the time, there was very, very few eShare in circulation. So when you have high demand and low supply, that is where you get insane price movement. So, are we hoping to get to that point again? Absolutely. But I think that, in terms of how eShare is applied to Fusion itself, it's a lot more based on the everyday use cases of eShare. So I don't think we see, a crazy spike 10x in one day, which we may. I mean, who knows? But I do absolutely think that we see a gradual increase marching upwards up and to the right over, weeks and days and months and years. And so, could we see new all-time highs of eShare? Absolutely. I mean, if we start burning it and, we have a ton of volume going through Fusion, I mean, I can absolutely, speculate on that. But I think a better approach is just to, realize that it is a slow and steady increase. And the volatility will still be there because, people are just going to want to sell eShare one day or buy it, again, the liquid form. And, as you're taking profit in Fusion, a lot of the selling pressure happens under the hood in eShare. But then on the other flip side of the coin, you have the speculative way of buying eShare, sacrificing that into Fusion, or using it to buy power packs that get you ahead a little bit in Fusion. And that is direct utility and use case of eShare, even outside of the everyday, back and forth trading. So it's really hard to speculate. I mean, I don't have a crystal ball, but we have a ton of different um, aspects of eShare that will hopefully, get it moving to where we all want it to be. So again, LA, I don't know if you want to add to that. You have a great way of getting things a little more succinct. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and I did want to just clarify the beginning part of that. And when I was talking about the volatility and stuff, I was mostly meaning like pre-sacrifice because like when 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 the word gets out about, the date being out and sacrifice coming soon, who knows where the price can go,
For sure.
up and down when people start buying, and then people who have been holding on start selling. It could go up and down a whole bunch pre-sacrifice. So that's mostly what I was talking about in that regard. But I think you kind of nailed it with the rest of it. I don't have a ton more to add there.
Okay, yeah, no, again, I think uh, the heart of that question was, around the correlation between Ethereum and eShare, and they are really not correlated at all. I'd say what you really want. Oh, go ahead. Yep. Oh,
No,
so,
I'm just
okay, yeah. Sorry, Ella. Yeah. So, what you really want, what I was just going to end with is what you really want to focus on is the volume. Again, just like we benefit from the volume in Spark and Sparkswap, the more people using it, the more trading, the more people using Fusion and buying, selling, whatever that might be, taking profit, uh, sacrificing directly or using eShare for power packs, the more volume we have, that is what will really drive the price of eShare. So, just keep that in mind. And, Ella, you did a great job going over, again, not financial advice, but your own strategy. It was about a third, a third, and a third split. And I think that was a very healthy, approach to eShare. So if any of you had further questions, that was on the last AMA, right, LA?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
breaking it into parts, not necessarily like equal thirds, but definitely 3 parts.
Okay, perfect. All right, I think we answered that. Anything else you're going to elaborate on?
Nope, we got a couple more questions. This next question, we have been answering it probably about once a week. And when we do have solid updates on this, we definitely will share them, but I will ask it. It's for you to give some updates on the Sentinels.
Yeah, so again, I know it's frustrating, and we also had reports of defenders not paying out. So we looked into that. I don't think there's an issue with defenders not paying out. Um, again, with everything we're doing with Fusion and this new mega release for Spark, there are some things that, again, I've said it many times, that move up and down the priority list. Um, but yeah, I mean, power up distributions, um, Sentinel distribution, and Defender distributions are, definitely being addressed. So I don't know when we're gonna get it fixed, but the saving grace is just remember you're never losing the rewards. Um, they are still accumulating, so you're not losing out. I get it; it sucks to have to wait. But hopefully when we do have everything ready. It's a nice chunk that has accumulated for you. That again, not financial advice, but you could sacrifice that right into Fusion, um, and not have been tempted to dump it over the last few weeks. So yeah, we're working on it. I'm gonna try to get an actual update from the devs but we're asking them to do a lot at the moment. So, but yeah, it is priority for sure.
Okay, perfect. You tackled the last two questions there, so you're
Oh,
good.
all right, that was easy. I didn't even know. So, all right, so yeah, again, all the loose ends we're working on, so just hang tight, and we'll get there together. I promise. All right, and then any other questions from the group or the live chat, LA? I didn't even look today, so I don't know if you've been looking while we're talking.
I don't see any.
Okay,
I
cool.
don't.
Well then, good. That wasn't too bad. We finished just over an hour. Again, trying to be respectful of everybody's times, everybody's time. I can't talk today. And yeah, if you have other questions that we didn't get to, please feel free to type them in any of the comments. Or the best way to make sure that we get to it is through our Discord. We have a specific channel on our Discord for questions only. That is, your best way to make sure it's answered. And yeah, we have a ton coming up this week. Lots of again bullish news. We'll have hopefully a more concrete announcement about the new product for Sparkswap. Again, it's still a few weeks out in terms of going live, but we should have a teaser to give you a little more info. Continue to spread the word on the bridge. Again, bridge volume is up, looking really good. Pulse is down today, but overall we see a lot more volume coming in. Even on the main Ethereum bridge, over the weekend we saw a whale bridging in literally millions. So yeah, hopefully that means that will be used for more buying support. Again, no expectation from the work of others, but that's a good sign for sure. And yeah, LA, anything else? Any final words? Oh, and about Spritz. Do you want to talk about Spritz one more time with the new link? I know you talked about it at the very beginning, but we skipped over that at the end. So
I didn't mention it again because I kind of mentioned it at the beginning, so I think
okay,
we're okay.
all right,
We do
cool.
have one more last minute question though. So, what are your thoughts on Sparkswap Bridge versus L1X opening up PLS as a next chain?
Yeah, so again, that's bullish no matter what. So the idea is that we still route the volume. Again, you can look at it as, when and if L1DEX is up and running and we are able to integrate the Pulse chain to L1DEX, we just kind of absorb the SparkSwap bridge. It's not an either or a negative impact because and that was the whole point of SparkSwap, or one of the major points of SparkSwap, is that we will be our own partner in that situation because there has to be liquidity on not only L1X as a chain, but also the destination chain, which in this case is Pulse. And again, any bridging or we like to call it tunneling, not bridging, that will go through Sparkswap. I mean, again, it's not necessarily the Sparkswap bridge, but the volume, any potential swap fees. Again, if you're doing a cross-chain swap as well, which will be part of the tech, if you're going from, DAI on Phantom to Pulse, uh, on Pulse, then we get the fee of that swap as well. So, if anything, that will only bring even more volume to us through L1DEX. So yeah, that's all part of the plan. Again, LA, anything you want to add to that?
No, I think you got it there. So
Okay,
it is
cool.
all part of the plan though.
Yeah, again, just imagine the Sparkspaw Bridge, inside of the L1DEX tunnel. I mean, that's essentially what happens, and yeah, it's only more bullish for everybody and the both ecosystems. Cool. All right. I think that was it. So yeah, on that note, we'll wrap it up. Again, LA, you want to say your final goodbyes, and then we will
I will.
call it a night.
Yes, I will give a little mindful moment, which I love to do. Remember to take some time to count your blessings and remember all the things that you're grateful for. We're so damn blessed and so damn lucky in this life. And so often we get so wrapped up in what we're doing day to day that we forget to look around at all the people and things we have in our life that are just so amazing. So don't forget today to just take a moment to appreciate everything you have that makes your life so amazing.
I love it.
And all of you are included on our lists. So thank you for joining us tonight. And we always look forward to spending this time with you.
100% LA. We all live with an attitude of gratitude around here, and yeah, it really helps. I know it's been a hell of a road, especially in terms of Fusion. You know, we get daily criticism, and you know, a lot of times it's hurtful FUD even for as much effort as LA and I and the rest of the team put in. You know, it's very disheartening to see the community disappointed. But today, I think changes all that. Again, you know, obviously we don't have an actual date yet, but this is the first time that we're actually able to, you know, get internal deadlines moving, you know, an audit underway. Again, barring any catastrophic issues, which we don't think and don't foresee, you know, it won't add a substantial amount of time to the development work. We can get through the audit. Obviously, there will be, you know, some more work to be done, but we can get an actual hard date out ASAP. And then, you know, after that, it's off to the races where, you know, we're just putting gasoline on the fire. We have a bull run underway. You know, the halvening is you know, there. All the other products are live. I mean, it could be an absolute perfect storm. Um, and we're excited for all that. So thank you all for being patient. We're getting super close, and that's just one thing in our repertoire. I mean, again, Sparkswap, new product that will feed Fusion. And vice versa. That was one last thing. Again, not to drag on too long. I did see this question that just reminded me. Somebody said, you know, I'm only involved in Spark. Why do I care about EMP Fusion? And I thought that was a really great question. We can talk about it more on another AMA. But you know, remember that these protocols will feed each other, and you know, there will absolutely have you know, a way to take profit in Spark or other assets. Again, a little bit of alpha for you, maybe, that we can, you know, those that want exposure to, you know, Spark through EMP Fusion will get that as well. So it's a two-way street. It's not just Spark and Sparkswap feeding Fusion. You know, it's definitely that's definitely part of the revenue stream, but you will be able to get exposure to Spark from Fusion as well. So again, just some last minute alpha, and I want all of you to be bullish on our entire ecosystem. That's why we call it the mothership, because all the protocols that we build make the individual protocols that much stronger together. So, all right, I guess that'll wrap it up. And yeah, again, LA, I threw you a curveball. Anything you want to add to that? I know you said your goodbyes, but yeah.
No, I'm all good. I
All
think
right.
I'm ready to wrap.
All right, awesome. So thank you all. Again, we'll be back on Thursday. We come to you every Monday and Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe on your way out. Share this video with others, especially the FUDders that say, where is EMP Fusion? You can send them this video for an update. And we'll continue to update all of you as we continue to build out. And we will have Monstros, Degenz on the next AMA, as well as our regular AMA to follow. So that is the plan as of right now. We may have to move things around, but we'll keep you up to date. Remember to always follow our Twitter and our Telegram and our Discord for the most recent announcements, and always follow the pinned messages at the top. All right, good night, good day. We will see you on Thursday.